Oh my God, I just got a word, y'all. And I was just watching some videos and I just got a word. I'm like, Lord divine, please help me deliver it. So, us healers, right? Us healers, I was doing the light work, doing this divine path, right? Um, in the early stages, we experience the energy of people pleasing, right? Where we self-sacrifice with intentions to pour into other people to help elevate them and empower them, right? And in that early stage of the journey, we don't realize that we're being abused and these things because we haven't yet developed boundaries or discernment. Apologies for the light. Listen, I'm just here parked and this is where it's happening, so this is where it's at. Right? So, but the divine message I just received was an image of those who come on, trust me, divine, trust the divine, trust the divine. Those who see that transaction, if you can look at it energetically, right? Us light workers, healers that know we have a purpose to heal and help, right? And we're being of service, at least that's what we think. And we self-sacrifice and pour into others, which means we are people pleasing. We're allowing our energy to be siphoned, okay? The reflection of that, the shadow version of that, is a manipulator. The darker energy, the lower frequency energy of that same thing being mirrored, just being presented and expressed a different way, is someone who tries to manipulate others to gain power. So you can look at both of those individuals in that exchange as the same. I understand that there are lower frequency beings that just take and may not be on their own light path journey. But I do believe that we are all sovereign beings, just part of the same consciousness trying to figure this life thing out. And some of us have got more damaging past life trauma, buried dark trauma that causes that result. So let's say someone is in a manipulative energy and they're doing it to be quite spiteful, or they're actually abusing their power. They're still embodying a power. They're still sovereign, but they're not aware of that. They're in a state of lack, so they're trying to scavenge for power. They're trying to make themselves feel worthy by taking from others. In the same bracket, I'm looking at this energetically for a moment. You can see someone who is people pleasing and someone who is manipulating as being in the same low, vulnerable frequency. Divine, where you taking me with this? Help me deliver this, please. So I'm just acknowledging now being in a healed self-mastery, an ascended master, right? Now that I am in the position of an ascended master, I can understand the need for boundaries and discipline, all these different things. But I also understand the origin of the true power. On this journey, we provide reflections for one another to see our own power. And once one has healed, you're able to hold a foundation, a grounding, a solid foundation for those who abuse or try to abuse or project and all these things to have to deal with their own energy. So to stand opposite someone who is manipulating energy at this time, in a frequency of being in true alignment, sovereign with oneself, because you've now developed and understood your power and you're actually now embodying your power, let's say that. Being in a position where you are opposed or reflecting to someone who is manipulating, you're not able to be manipulated. So the reflection provides it provides clarity for the person who's trying to manipulate energy, because they can't. So essentially, they're only manipulating themselves. In the same bracket, a people pleaser who tries to overdo it, or someone who tries to pour to gain something, we don't realize that those, when in a frequency of people pleasing, we're actually trying to attain something, whether it be validation, whether it be worthiness, there's a state of lack there. Just the same way there is a state of lack in the entity or the being who is trying to manipulate. It's a lack of power. It's a lack of self-love. It's a lack of self-love completely across the board. No one is better than the other. We are all sovereign beings to ourselves. None of us are more powerful than the other. I'm not going to go too deep on that because in the spiritual realm, we've all got hierarchy and things like that. When I say hierarchy, it just depends on your spiritual lineage and so on and so forth. We've all got our roles to play on this life thing. But I do believe that we are all consciousness. We are all conscious beings, part of the same whole. We are all divine source creation. No one is higher than anyone else. It's about your own sovereignty and your own internal integrity that provides you your own ascension pathway. There is actually no opposition. There is no one person that is doing better than the other person. That's not how it works. It's you doing better for you. If you're not doing better, if you're not elevating and pouring in the direction of loving yourself more and honoring yourself more, honoring the things that are wounded within you that keep you in a lower vibrational frequency. Some of those things within you are not even of your own doing. Some of these things you're carrying are from your ancestry, things that have been healed and things that have not been healed and have been buried within your bloodline that you are now experiencing and expressing because it lives, it's binded within your own DNA structure. When you're on this journey of self-healing and self-love, you realize that you're actually changing your DNA, reprogramming your mind to receive love, to receive self-love, and start catering to the parts of you that's wounded, the emotional burial, the things that are buried in you that need tending to. When you start catering to these things, Ashe, you start to reveal the blockages. You start to remove the blockages. Once you have allowed the emotion to be expressed and acknowledged, you then make room for it to be released. It has been in the burying of all of these horrible things that have happened to us throughout our lineage that bind us to lifetime experiences, and we can relive cycles over and over again. We have lived millions and millions of lifetimes going through some of the same things because we haven't healed yet to release the trauma and the wounding that lives within the DNA. It's a powerful word, divine. I give thanks. So on this ascension journey, you start to look at energy differently. You start to look at people differently. And you also give people their power back because you start to recognize their sovereign authority in making the changes to have a different experience and a different outcome. Please believe me when I say at this moment in time, we're not going through, we've already shifted. Let me just put that out there. We've already shifted, but we're going through a time right now where now people are experiencing in this 5D reality because the universe, the vibration of the planet is speeding up. Okay, it's speeding up, meaning you have to vibrate on a higher frequency. You have to vibrate on a higher frequency. If you don't, you're going to feel all these different things surface for you that are going to be very troubling. That could show up in a reflection of your health deteriorating, your energy levels deteriorating, your motivation being non-existent, your optimism, your imagination, your ability to look into a higher potential, to look into the future, to have forevision of something better. That vibration, the lower your vibration, the harder it is, the denser it is. And if the vibration is on the planet is raising and you yourself are still in a lower frequency, you're going to find this next chapter real difficult because what you're going to be presented with is all of the things that you have been investing in all the things you have been investing in energetically that you think, you may believe are just, irrelevant. You might think it has no weight or gravity, when really it has so much gravity in your material world you have no idea. If you've been focusing on things out externally from you, and you've been allowing the world outside of you to govern what it is that you focus on, your internal world has been nothing but projections. You've been taking on influences from the external world that dictate what you create from the inside out. So your material, physical, 3D experience, we're on the 5D plane now. Your 3D experience is going to present to you a manifestation of all those things you have been allowing to be poured into you, to have programmed you. So you now have the responsibility. It's a responsibility. Hear me good. It's a responsibility for you to show up for you at this time. Because right now, what we're being shown is the 3D reality, everything that's happening out in the external projection, in the material world. We're all living in our own universes. And the universe you live in right now is of your own making. And you have to be courageous enough to be responsible about that. You have to take authority is not the word I'm looking for. You have to be accountable. You have no choice. Now you are being forced. We're all being forced. Okay? This is not a one-man thing. We are all being forced to be accountable for what it is we're creating. And I'm just expressing how hard it can get, how much harder it can get if you don't make the decision, the executive decision, because you are the most powerful being. Okay? You are the sovereign being. You are the creator of your reality. You are the God self. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, on this journey, on this pathway, it might sound like a lot of gobbledygook to some, but I want you to know that I speak nothing but what I know and what I'm living. And you are the sovereign being that makes the changes in your life. You're creating your reality whether you want to acknowledge it or not. So what you put in, what you allow yourself to focus on is what you're putting in. For those who are not aware of manipulation, what you focus on, what you pay attention to is what you're giving permission to intercept. Okay, to be seeded within you. You might think you are doing the best you can, and I believe in my heart space that you are. You're doing the best you can to the level of your awareness, to your personal awareness. You're doing the best you can, but I want you to understand some of the places where these things can creep up and creep in. Okay. I'm not just talking about paying attention or not focusing on negative social media and not listening to negative music. Those things do count. They count. But I'm also talking about your internal integrity, the kind of relationships you allow to be a part of your universe. Are you still in a state of being where you're welcoming in relationships that don't actually serve you, that don't honor your higher self, the version of yourself you want to become? Do you still feel what am I saying? Is there room for you to be your best version of yourself in the relationships that you have in close proximity? If any of those relationships cause you to close your heart and feel unsafe, those relationships are part of the things that have a hold and a manipulation on that which you are able to access when it comes to your own self-love. This is why the healing journey for many ends up presenting itself with a lot of solitude and isolation, because until one can have a sacred space to finally acquire a relationship, to know yourself, to know your heart space, to know your energy, to know your frequency in comparison to someone else's. And I don't mean to compare to say that you're better than, I mean to know the difference between. You need to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you might be an embodiment of manipulations and impressions, projections. So when you're by yourself now, you don't even know your left from your right, because you are governed by external forces. But this is awareness. This is not judgment. This is awareness. This is offering you the ability to choose. You have always been choosing. And I want you to know that. I'm passionate about it because I have so much experience and knowledge on my own journey. Like I said, I'm an ascended master now. Okay? High priestess energy. And I'm so grateful for the journey that I have walked. It has not been easy. Oh my God, it's not been easy. And I want it to be known because it's the work that the collective have been doing, the healers, the light workers have been doing, so that we can use our journey to teach and share this information so that someone else doesn't have to do the journey that we have done with the sacrifices we've had to make. It's a lonely journey. The spiritual journey can be a lonely journey because you have to then, you are put in a position to build such a solid relationship. I'm so grateful for the journey, Ashay. I'm so grateful for the journey because I know me. I know me. I know my soul. I also know my ancestors. Come on, y'all. Making noise in here. I know the ancestors, and I know my ancestors walk with me because I've experienced things that I've had to call upon my ancestors. Didn't know my ancestors had me like that till I knew they had me like that. You feel me? I roll deep with mine. Okay? We roll deep in this bitch. Warriors. Warriors. But your ancestors walk with you too. And on this journey, you will develop this relationship. And you will cultivate a stronger relationship. You will learn that you are never alone. You have never been alone. And all the ancestors ask for you to do is start to pay attention and listen to yourself. Make the space and the room to connect with yourself. There is wisdom within you. We are all bearers of this divine source intelligence. We are connected. We are born of. There is no separation. It doesn't matter what your personal relationship is with God and the source, the Most High. There's many different names, okay? Goes by many different names, but it's about your relationship and whether your relationships gives you access to more of you. Maybe your relationship with the divine needs to level up a few notches. You feel me? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. There's more. Where you may have stopped, what you may have learnt, may not be what takes you to the next point. There is more. Don't close yourself off from information. Don't close yourself off from other people's connection to their own infinite source. Learn from someone else. Be curious about more. And use your discernment always. Right? Discernment is key on this journey. Discernment is key. Don't act like you know everything because you don't. I don't know everything, so you can't know everything. Don't do it. Don't shoot yourself in the foot and be walking around here in your ego thinking you know everything you need to know because of the confines of which you've been taught to know. Don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all know I love you. This was a spiritual word right quick. I'm really grateful for the divine helping me deliver that. I hope I summed up what I was trying to point out earlier. There was a lot. It's a lot. This is a heavy one. But I'm glad I was able to present these reflections for you. I really am. And even my awareness of the lower frequency, both the manipulator and the people pleaser being the same energy, really, right? Really. They're both looking for self-love. And knowing that self-love teaches you that we are all sovereign beings. We all hold the power within us. We are the connection between you and source is sacred. It's not separate. Everything external from you is external from this. I need you to understand it's source, then it's you connected, and then it's what you see outside. So go inward. Don't look for your answers outside of you. Start to develop a relationship between your mind and your intuition, okay? I'm pointing at my solar plexus and all kinds of things, okay? Your sacral, get to know your chakras, god damn it. You feel me? Because you powerful. You powerful and you are creating realities. You're creating realities. And you're going to keep creating realities while you're here doing this life thing, as we all do. And I want you to have the best time while you're here. I want you to access that love that is just waiting for you. You feel me? A whole world opens up for you when you start standing in that love. Ooh, you deserve this love. Oh my God. Don't let them trick you out of your own abundance. All right? I'm going to get out of here. 20 minutes on the clock. I love you. And if this message has served you in any way, I'm so grateful. If you feel like tapping in, there's a lot of different things. I'm moving through my own expression at the moment. So there's many different things and many different ways that I show up because I'm allowing the divine to show up through me while I honor myself. It's a very challenging thing to do. So I'm grateful for you. If any of this has resonated, I'm so grateful. Please use your discernment, take what resonates and leave what does not with all messages and all things. All right? All places and spaces. Use your discernment, baby. Ashe, it's the word. Y'all know what to do. If you would like to follow, feel free to, baby. Share with some of your loved ones if you feel that this will serve them. And I'm going to keep showing up and serving too. All right? I love you. Peace, love.